Okay, so this is my mom.
Hi,
I love my mom so much. Oh, great.
I love my daughter.
Okay, mom. So you're here to be interviewed, obviously.
I
How do you feel?
feel like I can't finish this gosh darn food.
Oh no.
But other than that, I feel great. I
That's
feel
good.
happy to be here. Feel happy that you're interviewing and getting your thing off the ground. Like
Thank you.
I'm honored to be asked to be a guest on your
Oh my god.
platform.
Okay. So getting serious.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was serious.
that was serious.
I'm honored. I'm proud of you.
Okay. Um, to get serious, what would you say is something you've done that wouldn't seem like something you've done? You know, like something you've done, but like someone wouldn't expect you've done that.
Who's the someone? It depends. Like there are
Family.
things that you found out about me that I didn't know that you didn't know about me.
Family.
Family, like extended family.
Like, yeah, like a cousin.
Oh, Amber doesn't know a lot of stuff, but I don't know that she'd be surprised either. Some people know. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily about. Well, I have interesting taste in men. People know that, but to the
Yeah,
extent, I don't think people know.
I know that.
You know.
I'm a product of that.
Well, also, and you've been around for men that have dated subsequently,
Yes, I
and
have.
they've been interesting characters. I don't think people would expect some of the partnerships I've been and some of the entanglements I've had. I don't think people would.
Some of the entanglements you had are crazy creatures from
Eclectic
other planets.
people.
Eclectic is quite a word to
Eclectic
use, Mom.
people.
What a vocab word.
I like eclectic
Eclectic.
people.
You like eclectic people.
Colorful backgrounds.
Colorful backgrounds. Okay, Mom. Okay. What motivates you to work really hard? Like every day? What would you say like at your lowest moment of the day? Like to pep yourself up to do something you
Girl,
need
I've
to
been
do?
trying to figure that out since my dad died. What I have learned is that work actually is very, very invigorating. But I think it has my moon is in Capricorn,
Mm,
so I find value
right.
like in when I'm doing certain things and I can connect value to it. I feel very, very fulfilled.
Mm.
Yeah, in a
Like the
way that
volunteer work that we did today.
yes, like
Okay.
volunteer work, travel planning.
Knowing that what you're doing is for a good cause.
Yeah, purposeful.
Got it.
Not purposeful. It's not. Or if it doesn't feel purposeful to me, if it doesn't like align with my values,
Yeah.
it's drudgery. It's really hard for me to do it.
Okay, I totally get that. I feel like I definitely see that happen like a lot more often, like with you a lot, because you're like not to like air you out or anything,
It's
but you're
okay.
kind of a germaphobe.
I'm a little bit.
So, and you were
And,
talking about it earlier, and you were talking about it more in the sense less that like you don't like the germs, more that you don't like where the food comes from, like why you're going vegan and why
oh
you don't
yeah,
like where the chicken comes from or where the milk comes from or how you get the milk or how you get the chicken. You know?
grosses me out.
Yeah, it grosses you out. Like you don't like eggs because it's basically a chicken. Period. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that's something that I've definitely seen in you like before. Yeah, that makes sense. What's the most spontaneous thing you've done this week?
Probably the volunteering because I hadn't planned. I planned to do a drop off and keep going, but then I remembered in therapy it came up that volunteer like it's one of my top 8 values is
Mm,
volunteerism out of like a whole slew of words. Picked 8 and that was one of them. And it's overdue and da 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 da. I felt some kind of so like when we were there, I was like, you know what? I could sit in the car and work, or I could work on this thing that I know brings me
yeah.
fills me up and with you. And so yeah, that was the most spontaneous thing I did. Happy I did it.
I yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect you to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that you did come, and
Yeah.
not only just for like the double hours, but like it was fun working with you.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was really nice, like having somebody who I know also like watch me work and watching you and how you work. Like I don't know, it was just a pleasant experience.
Right.
Um, if you had to choose between taking public transportation, oh, this is really random. If you
Okay.
had,
Ask the germaphobe again. What now?
um, if you if you had to choose between clean, hygienic,
Public transportation.
ethically friendly public transportation
Mm.
versus um private transportation, would you and why? Which one would you and why?
So here's the rub, right?
Okay.
Well, here's the
I'm joking. I'm
no, but
joking.
valid. And here's the thing, right? In a perfect world where public transportation is not germy and disgusting and makes me feel fear for my life,
Right.
that is ideally because value wise, it's conservation is important to me.
Oh my god, that mic keeps falling
It
over.
does, but it should be okay.
Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, we'll move on. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, value wise, conservation is important to me, so value wise, public transportation
Mm.
all day, every day. However, there are some. However, it is something that I have to overcome. Like I have to prepare. I stay at home a lot.
Yeah.
I stay at home a lot because
Would you consider yourself a homebody?
by circumstance, yes.
Got it.
Homebody by circumstance. And yeah, I guess I'm a homebody, but I love to go out and do things and stuff. I also love to come home and be home. Like if I don't want to go out and do stuff just to do stuff. Again,
Yeah.
purposeful. Yes, I love it. I love it. No purpose. Okay, I would like to be home because there's plenty of things that bring me purpose at home that I love to do. That I like to chill. I love to lounge. I'm a Leo. I could sleep for 16. I could lounge for 16 hours a day and be fine in a cave
Mm-hmm.
and be fine.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
In a cave?
In a cave. Like this home being my cave, like I could lounge here for 16 hours and be fine and then sleep and we
I've
could do
seen you
this
do
for
that,
a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time, right? And then at some point I'm like, okay, I need to go. And then a couple of days of chaos and then okay, settled again. So I'm a homebody, but like not. I'm a social homebody.
It's almost like having a circadian rhythm, but like for like social
Mm-hmm.
interactions.
What would you say about you? What can I ask you questions
Yeah,
also?
yeah, totally.
Okay.
Like public transportation versus private.
Mm-hmm.
I like the experience of public transportation a lot more than private,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely won't skimp on a road trip if somebody asked me to go on a road trip. So I'd probably have to lay out like my pros and cons, honestly. Like, for example, I would definitely enjoy being in a private car more because of the privacy and
Mm-hmm.
because it gets me from point A to point B like straight shot. I don't need to take any other stops. There's no other people that I need to worry about except for me and the person who I'm on the road trip with. I would never go on a road trip alone. That's another thing.
Really?
Honestly, a road trip alone? I'm driving stateside alone on a highway for hours?
Valid, understood.
That's not even like legally like
I mean, I did it to Georgia and back.
I know, but yeah, but like even like the law kind of like suggests like, hey, make sure that you have another passenger to switch off
safer.
with.
There's safety
yeah,
in
it's
numbers.
safer. It's just safer to travel with other people.
Mm-hmm.
But also like public transportation, I really enjoy because there are other people around me. Like like it's just more lively.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more that I could get out of public transportation than I could private. I learn my area better. I learn like places around my area better. I learn the distance times. I learn public transportation and it encourages me to have interactions with other people rather than being like in a car. And also like, the eco ethics
Mm-hmm.
of a car in public transportation. Honestly, American public transportation, I probably never take though.
This is the thing,
That's
right?
the thing.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder if your experience and my experience, like where your formative like memories of transportation versus mine, because we did not have a car in the Netherlands.
I did like public plane transportation though, like flying eco.
Yeah, but you have not had public versus private
I have had
airplane.
private. Yeah.
No, first class is not private.
Yeah, you're right. But I would never fly a private plane because the eco ethics of that stop me completely from ever jumping into a private
Depends
plane.
on where you're going. I've been on a helicopter before in
Helicopter's
Australia
different.
because to get to remote areas and
Yeah.
but I understand.
But I'm talking about like a plane.
Yes, just to something that there's
Yeah.
already flights.
Also, private jets, I feel like alone, that'd be like terrifying. Like something bad happens, that's it for you, bro. Like you're alone on that plane, man. I don't know. That'd just be really scary. Like with at least like on a plane, like when you're flying, like economy. There are other people who could die with you. You're not dying alone,
Okay. All right.
Like I want somebody to at least memorialize.
I mean, they'd be dead too, though.
But... Okay, yeah, but like all of our deaths
everybody on the plane is
dead. But it all memorializes itself, Like when other people died too, I'm not the only person who died.
Okay.
Like I could be a survivor, they could be a survivor. Oh no! It definitely got the recording.
Okay.
It's at 10%.
You're a little bit off of the thing though, also.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm kind of not in frame. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Do you want it? Oh yeah, we got to leave that plugged in. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. More questions? I don't want to. I know you're running low on battery.
We'll do like one more question.
Okay.
Were we still having that conversation? No.
About the planes?
Yeah, we got our answers about the planes.
Public transportation, right? What was the other one?
What was your answer? Public transportation versus private?
Oh yeah, it was. It's private because
private because you're a
I
germaphobe
can't
and other
because
people are
are nasty. Not just scary. They open mouth cough. No, let's keep it real. I would do public transportation because I do like people and my values align with public transportation.
Right.
However, people are disgusting. People open mouth cough. Even during Corona, people don't wear their masks when they're sick. They don't care about other people. They are disgusting. So I don't want to share space with people that don't care about sharing space with other people.
And you'd be right. You'd be so right. Because know what happened in Europe with the Paris trains and the fleas and the... Like, they had bed bugs all over their trains and their buses. And it was... And there was a video of this guy patting one of the freaking seats with, like, a broom. Dust. Bugs. All of it just started crawling up out the seats. It was crazy.
There's unnecessary, careless stuff that I just don't want to be around. So whenever I can avoid it, I try to avoid it because I like to live healthy. I don't like to live. Not just live, but I like to live and not be in pain and not be drippy and not be itchy and not so I just stay around my own germs as much as possible or familiar germs. But I like people. Germs. I just,
Yeah.
They become familiar germs after they prove that they're not disgusting people.
That's a good point. I told you about that one time, my whole class of We're talking about how one time in my driver's ed class for our last assignment, we went out to the cars at our school that our school provides for us to fix and check the oil and stuff. And all the boys in my class afterwards, because we were going to eat chips afterwards and stuff, they didn't wash their...
Proudly.
They sat there and they were like, no, we're not going to wash our hands. Our teacher literally had to manually unlock the door, the bathroom, so that everybody could wash their hands. And the boys straight up had to sit there and be like, no, we're not going to wash our hands.
With the black on their hands and then touching up the chips and stuff.
The tires, and they were sharing
and they
chips.
know better because they know one person will get sick, everybody will get sick.
They know better because everybody told them they should wash their hands.
They know when somebody gets sick, other people get sick is because of poor hygiene. They just don't care. I care about the time I spend laid up in bed feeling like crap. So I don't want to be around people who don't care about that.
It's all the way a choice. All the way. Okay. Last question. Well, I said we were going to do 2 more, but I think we should just
whatever you want to do.
Okay. What would you say is your favorite movie genre and pourquoi?
Psychological thriller. I'm a bit emotionally masochistic.
I know that. I know that that's your favorite genre, but why is that your favorite genre?
Emotional masochism, psychological risk. I don't know. I don't know why I like to be tortured by the what ifs of, but the what ifs, the what happens if AI? What
But
is
you
it?
hate it when
Is
you
it
get asked like what if questions because they're all hypotheticals and you don't know how to
if it
answer.
depends on what it is. Like when we talk about AI, I have a love hate relationship with hating things also.
Right.
So the psychological thriller aspect, like the existential crises. Oh my gosh, what happens when we die? Oh my gosh, how do we? Energy never. It's not created nor destroyed, and we are made up of energy. And da 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 da. So when our body stops moving, what we consider dead? What is girl? When we clone, is this slavery? Like, what have we done with this other thing that we've created? Even right down to AI itself, like it's if it can do things without us, just
Doesn't that
stuff.
mean that it's like its own
There's just
mind and
have we
like there's just
created a
so much
whole
that you can
other entity
expand
that
on
we just
it.
don't consider an entity, but it is. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love to torture myself with those questions that don't have answers.
Mm, that's really crazy.
What about you? And self
Um.
help, like I love self help.
Well,
So
yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite genre of reading is self help books. So
I think personally, um, I don't know. I'm really into comedies, dramas. I feel like that's just the really easy answer, though.
I they would be second on my list.
They're not bad answers. It's just that,
Balance,
like,
man.
yeah, it's good to have
You
balance.
gotta have happy stuff and funny stuff.
I enjoy horror though. I watched this one horror movie, when that girl came over, and it was called Cabin Fever. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched. Is it Sandra Bullock is in it or no?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Cabin
Um,
Fever.
Cabin Fever. It's literally your worst nightmare. It's like this disease from an animal where the animal like the disease ends up decaying the animal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it flesh eats. It's a flesh eating disease. And or it's more like a virus. It acts more like a virus than a disease. So all right, we're
Don't
back.
let me move my ashy legs off the. Yeah.
Okay, so back to this movie. Cabin fever,
Mhm.
virus, flesh eating, going around, spread from this dog to this homeless guy.
Like mange.
Yes, and then it went to the cabin. It went to a cabin.
The dog.
No, the virus. The from the homeless guy, he went to find somebody who could help him in this cabin in the middle of the woods where we meet the main characters, which is a group of teenagers who also are going to the cabin for like vacation.
Mm.
Um and what happens is the homeless guy, he's like puking up blood. He's like it's awful. He's like spreading around the virus like all around their car, all over their porch, everything. It's literally the worst, right? And what happens next is first, this girl gets it, right? And they find out because like part of her leg starts going missing.
Part of her leg starts going missing.
I
Like it
don't
decays off, or it just like
it,
she wakes up and part is gone.
she wakes up, she's bleeding, part of her leg, it looks like it was cut off, chomped
And
off.
she didn't realize it before she woke.
Not while she was asleep, no.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then it just keeps getting worse. She ends up staying alive. Like they put her in this to isolate her, they put her in a shed, right? And she can't move or anything because now her legs are decaying. Like she's decaying.
You're
She's like
getting
literally
a
rotting.
spoiler on this video.
I'm gonna put a spoiler. It's a really old movie. It's a really old movie.
Valid.
But what happens, right, is she ends up like staying in this isolated shed.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. She ends up staying in this isolated shed, right? And while she's in there, it just gets worse and worse for her. And just her entire face when they come back, she's still alive, mind you. Her entire face gone.
So she's like turning like
She's
butterfly
literally
cocoon
decaying.
without the cocoon.
Think more like think more I don't think more like a coffin without the coffin part.
So is
like
she
the
turning
body
into mush inside of her skin?
No, like her skin is like literally like falling off.
Oh. So pieces of right. So pieces of
That's
her
what's going
coming
on.
off. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what the virus does. It's literally flesh eating. Like pieces of you start falling
Does she
apart.
feel it?
Yes, she's still alive, and so like, but she can't move. She's in atrocious amounts of pain. This guy that has a crush on her, he came in to check on her in the shed like days later, which is crazy. Because what do you mean you left her
What a
in there days
crush.
later?
What a crush.
What a crush, right? Um,
You're
at this
supposed to
point,
like
I think
just
the rest of them,
starve it
there are a
out.
couple of others that are dead. She's not the first one to die off, so she's literally been in there, and just no one's been checking on her because other people have been dying off. Um, and so he goes in. She's basically half dead. He pulls out an axe. He ends it himself.
Ends himself?
He ends
Ends it for
her.
her.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's when, and it's this crazy scene. She doesn't even like scream or anything. Like, and it's just, oh, it's such a scene. It's such a scene. Like that's the thing that like, and it's they show her face. Like it's just, it's so.
Yeah.
They have a second cabin fever. Like a
I'm
cabin
not
fever
watching the
2.
first one and I'm not watching the second one.
I'm probably gonna watch Cabin Fever 2. It's a good movie though. To describe my favorite genre of movie.
Okay.
um, I don't know. I like entertaining movies. I like being entertained. I think that's kind of it. I think even if the movie's really bad, because I really like really bad horror movies
Mm.
or really awfully not funny comedy movies or really funny comedy movies or La La Land or just so long as like it's entertaining and I'm having fun while I'm watching it, I think it's done its purpose. You know?
Valid.
Except for the Emoji Movie. I hate the Emoji Movie so bad. It does none of those things. It is literally color appealing, and that's literally it for me. Like, not to be kind of a hater, but I hate the Emoji Movie.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I only vaguely remember it. I
It came out in
remember
like
not
2016.
being crazy about it and being like, oh, and then eventually I wound up seeing it and I was like, okay. And it didn't like.
Did it come out in like 2016? It came out somewhere around then.
Oh.
I don't know. It was like.
But I think another movie came out around it too, and I was like, this is Shades, but this seems like the off brand version of whatever this is. I don't remember.
I
Anyway,
think I
but
know
yeah.
what you're talking about. Um, I think I know what you're
Was it the
talking about.
Feelings movie that came out around time?
Inside Out.
Was it that one?
Um, maybe, but there were a lot of movies around that
Or
time that came out that were
Trolls or
like inner
something?
workings movies.
Mm. Mm.
And I know what you're talking about. There was definitely a movie that was like that that came out around the same time, but I just can't remember.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me interview you.
Thanks for
Thanks for
interviewing
coming
me. This
in.
is fun. It makes me think. I'm like, I wonder if we could do like 20 questions.
That's kind of what this is to me.
Okay.
Like interviewing, it's kind of like 20 questions. Like but except I'm asking all the questions and people are answering them all for me.
And that's what I was. I'm like, we could go back and forth with 20 questions.
We
Like
could go back and
you could
forth.
do 20 straight answers, and
Would
then
you
I
want
do
to come
20
back?
straight
Would you want to
answers.
come back for another interview?
Yeah.
Oh my
This
god.
is fun.
Okay, cool.
Also, you're coming up with the questions. I mean, this is very fun. I don't just have to show up and talk. We just dialogue.
It's just
great.
a yap session, basically.
Yeah.
This is kind of, I don't know. I kind of want to do this in like a bunch of different settings.
Okay.
Like this is definitely gonna like be setting 1 because like obviously this is my room. This is setting 1. This is home base. But I'm definitely gonna be doing a couple at school, like because I want to interview my teachers. It's probably gonna be either like conversation like this, but a little less in depth, or like I don't know.
We will have a very dope repository, and I guess the depth will depend on
The depth
answers,
will depend on
right?
the answers. Yeah. I also think I have to check in with the principal about posting stuff, like about school. I don't really know.
Well, ask your teachers.
I asked my teachers, yeah.
If
My
they're
teachers know.
cool with it, then chances are it's fine.
Yeah.
It's where you're recording in the school that may or may not be an issue, and you can get that cleared also with your teacher. If you just get permission from somebody that works there, that's going to be enough. You probably don't have to go all the way to the principal.
You know your connections even without knowing like how the network works. Like,
afraid.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
I mean, thank you. Sorry, I don't know how to take a compliment. Thank you, honey.
Okay. Love you so much.
I
Thank you
love
so
you
much
too.
for
Thank you
letting
for
me
this. It's been a
interview.
pleasure.
It's been a
It's been
pleasure.
an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, keep dreaming, my love.